When you hold the frequency of authenticity and love, energy that is moving through the heart and connecting to spirit, running through the body, then everything falls into alignment, mind, body, and soul. And that is where our life force energy is moving the most freely. When we are not holding ourselves back, when we are not suppressing emotions, when we are not shrinking away or locking ourselves away from potential, from our own potential, and from the universal collective potential for interconnectedness, for connectedness with God and the universe. I read mind, body, and soul lines, past, present, and future. The center column being the alignment line. And I have a significator and a U card. And then we'll get into the runes and see how that adds to the story. And I'm going to be completely honest. I did not sleep well last night, and so I'm in this kind of interesting energy where things feel discombobulated. And so I may or may not even share this reading because I have the intention to share from a place of authenticity and love, because I'm human and I have human experiences. And part of being open as a channel for others is to allow yourself that surrender to your own experience, to your own human experience. Because if you hold yourself to too rigid of a standard, you don't allow for flow. You don't allow for the ebb and the flow of life. You don't allow for the pendulum to swing. And if life stays static, it starts to stagnate energy. And then it becomes combustible, difficult to direct, misaligned. And in the mind line, we have 2 swords, peace, in the past position, showing that need to return to that place of mental calm, that balance, to create the harmony within, that peace. Because what we create within, we impress into the universe, without, as within, so without. And so it is our ability to train and hone our minds, to hold a frequency of authenticity, love, and peace as much as possible, and to allow ourselves to begin again as many times as it takes to reconnect to the journey, the Fool in the central position of the mind line, remembering the necessity of having a beginner's mind in everything that we do. Because without a beginner's mind, we fall into assumption, we fall into judgment, we fall into blame, we fall into shame towards others and towards ourselves. The shoulds, the things we should be doing, the way we should be feeling, when it is simply a process of disciplining one's mind to return to stillness. That is where our place of power is. And that is where we can invoke our will from a place of alignment, not fear, not doubt, not grasping, but pure love. Love for oneself as you go through the process, knowing that not every day is going to feel amazing, knowing that not every day is going to feel clear, but that we all have that place within us at all times, and we simply need to train our awareness to recognize it and to return to feeling joy and anticipation and lightness of being, having a light touch towards life, not becoming too attached. Because attachment distorts the energy. It distorts the way that the energy gets spread out. It's like giving a gift with an expectation of a certain response or a certain reaction or a certain repayment, a certain reciprocity. Giving your gifts to the world with an expectation of how the reciprocity comes shows an attachment. There's no surrender in that gift. Give to give, and know that the inevitable response of the universe is to return that abundance to you, is to return that benevolence to you. The universe is inherently benevolent. It is our egoic attachments that skew things into this sense of illusion, of scarcity, of separation. And having the ability to hold that level of discernment, that level of judgment within, judgment in the body place, in the past position. This is the work. This is the ability to discern what is your ego, your fear mind, and what is your mind of clarity. And where is that being held in your body? Where are you holding on to those emotions? Fear likes to hang out in the belly, which disrupts the will. And we have, sorry, I don't think I said that. I talked about it, but I didn't say the Chariot in reverse in the future position of the mind line. That distortion of will, that lack of discernment, that moving from fear, that becoming too rigid in one's thinking, rather than seeking harmony and balance, weighing the scales of justice. There's no justice if you're constantly making someone wrong for something. And it is our tendency to do so. If we feel wronged by somebody, it is our human nature to make them wrong for making us feel wrong, when it is truly the way that we're perceiving the situation that is creating the wrongness and the disturbance. King of Swords in the central position of the body line. Discipline. Returning the mind to clarity through practices in the body. Breath work, yoga, walking, whatever makes you feel calm and aligned in your energy, so that your mind is being supported by the proper foods, the proper nutrition, the proper amount of water and sleep, self-care, so that you can serve from your highest version. Because when we slip into distortion and we look for ways to soothe ourselves within that distortion, we are not operating from the highest version of ourselves. We are operating from a need, a scarcity place, an attachment to old wounds. And all that does is create misdirection. The Four of Pentacles, the Four of Stones in the future position of the body line. In reverse, that lack of orientation, that lack of clarity about your next move or where you're going. That need to surrender, to return to the vision. Your vision at its highest form is part of your highest good, part of the highest version of you. When you let go of the ego, what your dreams are truly telling you are your purpose. What your passions are leading you towards is your purpose, is your reason for being here, your dharma. Letting that be your guide. How can you serve humanity? How can you serve our existence at a higher level without falling into those distortions? Because the distortions that you create within, or that you allow within through a lack of discipline, create distortions without. And so if we reorient ourselves to the vision, aligning the body with the mind, the chariot, we are able to direct the ship of our lives with so much more certainty, faith, and trust that we are moving in the right direction, because we have the power of the earth within us. The Four of Pentacles is the power of the earth, that grounding into the knowing that you are supported because you know how to support yourself within. Eight of Stones, Eight of Pentacles in the spirit line. That knowledge, that spiritual knowledge that shows you how to materialize the reality that you want. How to align yourself to your vision, mind, body, and soul. And that knowledge is gained through experience. So in that sense, the experiences and the hardships and the sorrows and the battles that you've had in your life have all given you the tools and the knowledge and the foundation to discern what is the next right move. To discern how to be in alignment with your vision. Six of Swords in the reverse position. And if we alchemize that energy of distortion, it becomes recognition of the seasons. You are in a season of life. Seasons pass and seasons change. And the more that we can go into our own darkness and learn how to alchemize those emotions, turning fear into trust and love, turning those egoic distortions into places that we can improve and hone our vision, hone our minds to hold that, the Princess of Swords. Reconnecting to Source, because Source will source us with everything that we need. We can know that. Because with Eight of Cups in the reverse, in the U position, it shows that determination to focus on the one cup that is upright. All of the other cups are in disarray. Everything is chaos around. But that one cup is focusing on the hope. That one cup is focusing on the replenishment and the inevitable return to unity, because the significator card is the Two of Cups, is love, is harmony, is balance, is being filled up so that you can start to pour from overflow, loving yourself unconditionally, understanding that the crumbling and all of the distortions and the collapse of what is familiar around you are, and then when you learn to alchemize those energies into energies that move you forward towards your vision, you collapse. That's the quantum collapse. You're collapsing the reality that exists where you don't have what you want and where your desires are not coming true. And the truth is that right next to that reality full of distortion and disharmony is the reality that you want to be in, is the unity, is the love, is the connection. And that's where the discipline comes in, so that you can move into that place, so that you can feel how you actually want to feel as the highest version of yourself. That version of you that is serving the world with your purpose. That version of you that is abundant in all ways, has more than their needs met, has more than enough love, has more than enough strength and purpose so that they can overflow and share that with others. And as we get into the runes, I just want to say thank you for being here. My name is Jordana, And this is what it is, my little YouTube channel, which is all about learning how to manifest what you most desire through attuning yourself and through inner discipline and surrender. And so I just drew the runes, and I do still read out of the book a bit because I'm still learning them. And so the runic cross is you in the center position, the past, future, the basis of the reading, the challenges, and then the best possible outcome. And Fehu is in the central position as you, talking about possessions, inner nourishment, cattle. Fehu is a rune of fulfillment, ambition satisfied, rewards received, love fulfilled. It also promises the most nourishment from the most worldly to the most sacred and divine, for it is the ancient principle of as above, so below. And if we believe in that, then as we are looking to Source to nourish us, we must remind ourselves that we also must be a source of nourishment for Source. This rune calls for deep probing into the meaning of profit and gain in your life. Look with care to know whether it is wealth and possessions you require for your well-being, or rather self-rule and the growth of will. Connecting to all the things that we've been talking about. The Chariot, the inner peace, the Two of Cups, the purpose of the Four of Stones, the orientation. Fehu is also concerned with conserving what has already been gained. It urges vigilance and continual mindfulness, especially in times of good fortune. For it is then that we are likely to collapse ourselves into success under one hand, or to behave recklessly on the other. Enjoy your good fortune and remember to share it, for the mark of a well-nourished self is the ability to nourish others. And we have algaes in the past position, protection, showing that need, again, to have that sense of protection within, that sense of inner balance, controlling the emotions, controlling the mind, not through a sense of clamping down in control, but through discipline, compassionately dominating yourself to move towards the vision continuously. Algae serves as a mirror for the spiritual warrior, the one whose battle is always with the self. The protection of the warrior is like the warning rustle of the sedge grass, and I love that horn going off just now. It's like the warning rustle of the sedge grass, or the curved horns of the elk, for both serve to keep the space open around you. Remain mindful that timely action and correct conduct are the only true protection. If you find yourself feeling pain, observe the pain, stay with it. Don't try to pull the veil down and escape from life by denying what is happening. Knowing that is your protection. And Esau in the future position, that standstill, that allowing yourself to surrender to what is, to the moment, to the frozenness and the inability of what feels like progress impeded. It's a season. It's a winter season. And that is a time to go within. That is a time to replenish the self, to nourish the self, to not necessarily know the answer. It's experiencing a drain on your energy, and you don't know where that energy is coming from exactly. And then through gentle examination, you can start to see where you are too attached. Attachment leaks energy. You are sending out your energy outside of your energetic field, trying to draw something into you, trying to pull something towards you. But that's not how it works. Magnetism is holding that protection around yourself, being so secure and so in alignment with what you want, so grounded in who you are, and so trusting that you have what it takes, that you have the discipline, that you have the ability to compassionately dominate yourself and bring yourself back to course, that you can allow things to fall apart. Because before the greatest leaps in life, things collapse. Old timelines have to collapse so that you can enter new ones. You can't be the same old self and still become the new self, the highest version of yourself. You have to let those old identities go. Awaz, in the foundational, power to avert defense, the power to avert the crisis. As we're tested, we fund the power to avert blockage and defeat. At the same time, we develop ourselves an aversion to conduct that creates stressful situations in our lives. There appears to be a blockage in your path, but even a delay may prove beneficial. This is not a time or situation in which you can make your influence felt. Patience is the counsel Awaz offers. Nothing hectic, no acting needy or lusting after a desired outcome. This rune speaks to the difficulties that arise at the beginning of a new life. Often it announces the time of waiting, for spring to fill up with water, for the fruit to ripen on the bough. Perseverance, foresight. Avert anticipated difficulties through right action. Even more than we are doers, we are deciders. And then we have Thurisaz in the reverse, in the challenge position. These are a lot of the same runes that we got yesterday. Continuing the conversation. And to speak to that for a moment, whenever you get this information, it's the right time. If you're here, you're a seeker. You're on the path. And my intention is to offer you insight to that path. And insight is timeless. Time is an illusion. So when this hits you, it's the right time. Just know that it's the right time. And if something sounds in alignment with your experience, then it is the right time. So take what you need and leave the rest. And with Thurisaz in reverse, it is an indication that there is a quickening of your development. Yet even within the growth process, within the acceleration of it, you will have to halt along the way, to reconsider the old, to integrate the new. Take advantage of these halts. If you are undergoing difficulties, remember, the quality of your passage depends upon your attitude. Be certain that you are not suffering over your suffering. Return to that place of joy. We have one Jo in the best outcome. Joy, love, and peace are the ultimate destination. Connection, unity. Because at the end of the day, that is all that matters. When we die, we take none of the material stuff with us. And while relationships and energies may continue into other lives, I don't know how that works. I have a sense that they do, but it's really not for me to say. It's for us all to discover what all of it means for us on an individual level, because we're all responsible for creating our own worlds. There are as many worlds as there are human beings, because everybody is creating through their own magician. We all have the magic to create our own individual world, and what you perceive from the situation is completely different than what I perceive. And sometimes we can come into alignment with others, and sometimes we can't. And to allow everybody their perception, to remain neutral, to bring yourself back to that position of what if? What if it gets to be better? What if I get to feel good about it all? What if I get to allow myself to process these emotions, knowing that I'm going to return to joy, knowing that I'm going to return to rekindling that inner light, that this too shall pass, that it is just a season. taking responsibility for your own well-being, coming back to yourself so that you can receive the blessings, new energy, light piercing the clouds and touching the water just as something lovely emerges from the depths. The soul illuminates from within at the meeting place of heaven and earth, the meeting of the waters. There is a new clarity which may call for you to renounce existing plans, ambitions, and goals. It is proper and timely that you submit, for Wonjo is the rune of restoration, of the self properly aligned with the self. This book is so good. It is written by Ralph Blum. It is his experience and his sharings about the teachings of the traditional Viking runes, and I love it. It's beautiful. It's been in my life for so long. And so I really love sharing it with you, and I love how it aligns with the cards and how it just expands upon the story of the cards and expands upon the journey that we're all on. And so we're nearing that time, and I'm so grateful that you are here in this moment with me experiencing this part of the journey together. And if you'd like to take your portion of the journey deeper, I have created a 11-day experience based upon my 20 years of studying conscious manifestation, learning to read energy and tarot and the universe, and my own explorations of everything consolidated into an experience and offering as a resource. We all have everything inherently within, but sometimes we need a little helping hand. I know I do. I love having mentors, and I love having guides, and I love having things that help me move forward and trusting that the universe brings them to me in the right time. So if you feel like this is the right time for you, the link is below to grab the Art of Conscious Creation, and my hope is that it helps you on your journey, and as you being here helps me on mine. And may we all continue to move towards the joy, light, and love and true authenticity. And with that, much love.